Currently walking through the Maple Hill Cemetery here in Kansas City, Kansas. We're walking across the street to a laundromat where a murder took place that is still unsolved, 5 going on 6 years later. This murder happened on November 17th of 2017. This was a murder that I previously did on my channel about 4 years ago or so. This is one of the very first unsolved murders that I've never done. And if you guys don't know, unsolved murders on my channel are the most important videos that I do. So December 2, 15 years old, was working at this laundromat right across the street from where I'm at right now. He was working there, closing up on the evening of November 17th of 2017. December's family had immigrated to the United States when December was about 6 years old. The family's originally from Myanmar, a very dangerous country. I don't know the history or the politics behind what's going on over there, but I know it's not good. I know there is a lot of infighting between the government and the soldiers. This isn't a history channel, so I'm not going to get into what takes place over there, but I know that there is a lot of fighting that's going on within that country, and I know it's pretty dangerous to go visit that place. It's actually on one of my lists of places to visit before I pass. Now, the family immigrated and settled down here in Kansas City, Kansas, and December was a very popular student at Harmon High School. He wrestled on the high school team there. He was, from what I've heard, a very good singer, just a good person. He was very well loved by his family, of course, but also his friends and his teachers. He wasn't one of these kids going around acting stupid and getting into trouble or what have you. He was a good kid. He was a good student. And, you know, it's shocking murders such as this that really not only just tear a family apart, but also a community altogether. So across the street right there, December was working on that evening, and he was closing up, and somebody came into the laundromat, presumably to, I'm gonna just guess, and I'm just guessing, maybe rob the place. I don't know. This neighborhood where I'm currently at, this is not a bad neighborhood. This is what I would call a working class neighborhood. And whoever went in there, their identity is unknown, sadly, because at the time that he was working there, there were no cameras inside that were working. We have absolutely no kind of identity of the killer or killers. The cameras outside of the laundromat, they were either not equipped properly to function, or they were also not turned on. The only cameras in this whole shopping complex was over there, like way in the corner over there. And the cameras, instead of being pointed out to this laundromat where the murder took place, they were pointed right over there. So there's a couple of vehicles, when they ran the tape, of like a pickup truck and possibly a minivan, that the police were asking if anybody knew those vehicles because they'd like to talk to them. But that absolutely doesn't mean anything. They could have just been cars just driving in the neighborhood, but maybe they want to talk to them to see if they had seen anything or what have you. And this would be the laundromat where December was working when he was murdered. 5.5 years since this murder has happened, and I'm afraid, unfortunately, this is one of those murders where I'm afraid, unless the person or persons responsible, or if someone knows the person who might have bragged about this crime, as long as that person is not going to turn themselves in, or the person that knows them turns them in, this is going to go unsolved. There's absolutely no evidence. I'm not sure how December was killed. They're probably not releasing that to the public because they're waiting for the day that possibly somebody comes to turn themselves in, or, you know, kind of one of those questions where only the person or persons responsible for the crime would know what's going on. No description. We don't know if this was a man or a woman. We don't know if this was supposedly a robbery. I'm guessing it was. I just asked the lady inside what time the laundromat closes, and she says 8 o'clock. I think before, the laundromat had stayed open a little bit longer than that. I don't know if they changed the hours because of the murder. I'm guessing that it did. Other than that, from what I've read, very little to go on. I don't know if the police have any kind of clue of who did this. If they have any DNA, if they have any fingerprints. I mean, who knows how many people were actually using the facilities and washing their clothes. There's just absolutely no witnesses. There was nobody around. More than likely, it probably happened pretty late in the evening at night. And, you know, it's these unsolved crimes where, you know, a lot of people aren't going to touch on it just because, you know, a lot of time on social media, we want to talk about murders where there's a lot of gossip or a lot of, you know, stories or something to go on, a jealous lover. It's just drama is basically what a lot of oftentimes people would be looking for to do these kinds of videos. And you know, it's sad to say, but a story about a good kid who was just full-time student, also working, helping provide for his family. I've seen pictures. I'm not sure if there was a father in the home. I only seen pictures of his mother with his sisters. So, you know, he could have been the man of the house. I don't know. And I find it very tragic that how dangerous Myanmar can be. And the family just wanting to escape because there's all kinds of bad stuff happening over there. And to bring her son to the United States where, you know, people escape to have a better life, and for him to get cut down like that. And the second time back here visiting his grave, and I'm more angry now than I was when I first came here 4 years ago. I'm more angry now because this kid's murder has not been solved. And I don't feel that enough media exposure has been garnered to this case. And sadly, there's just not a whole lot of, there's really no evidence to go on. So whoever is going to come out and say who killed this kid, they're just gonna have to step up to the plate. Because if not, this murder is just gonna go on and continue to be unsolved. If anybody has any information on the unsolved murder of December 2, please contact Crime Stoppers Kansas City, Kansas. Their number 816-474-8477. 816-474-8477. Lamont at large. I will see you on the next video. Peace out.